14 participants, all right. Some are invisible. Invisible participants. Yeah, that's the first time for me that I'm with the Amdel group since Doug died. So the chanting is for Doug, and the talk is going to be for Doug as well. Because many of you remember him, I guess, the ones who are here for some time. He came very regularly to the monastery as well, and was a good acquaintance, at least, if not a friend. And it was very surprising to me to hear that he just keeled over and died. And I just thought, sometimes we have a little bit of trouble to calm our minds down. And for me it was, even I didn't know him that well, because it was so suddenly, it had quite an impact on myself, that he was just gone from one moment to the next. And people react differently, I guess. Some people might get scared or very sad or I don't know, anxious. For me personally, it was I got very calm. And I just thought, oh wow, thank you, Doug. What a beautiful reminder how fast it can all go, from one moment to the next. And I don't know if that works for you in your meditation, but for me that death contemplation is with somebody who had an impact on me. It was just very peaceful and very brings to my own recollection this how trivial are a lot of our concerns, in that knowledge that any moment could be our last. And that brought that I'm supposed to, oops, it's ended. Hello? Hello? Did we not pay for a Zoom plan?
Should be.
The meeting just ended.
Gee, this has never happened before. It's a bit weird. I've got no idea why that happened. I'll just see what happens if we open it again.
The host has another meeting in progress. This is a recurring meeting.
it's saying that. Maybe I'll try calling like one of the people who helps host this.
This is a current meeting. Where it is. What is the launch meeting? Doesn't do it. Join the meeting. Sign in.
Yeah, should work. Usually we sign in with Google.
Huh? No upcoming meetings today.
Maybe. It says it's still in a Zoom meeting. I don't know why it's saying that. Is it this way?
Well, because of. Join meeting, I have to put my ID in or what?
Yeah, so it has this information here in the email. So I'll try doing this manually instead of just.
Meeting passcode. Enter meeting passcode.
Yeah.
Join meeting. Doesn't
I
it
don't know why it's saying that. The host has another meeting in progress.
Huh. Is there a telephone number?
Yeah, I'll see if I can find it. Yeah, I've got a number here we can call.
Do you know where you put the phone?
I thought it was just yours.
It's not Rachel today, yeah? It's this guy I haven't never worked with before.
Yeah, Chris, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But the number we have is for Marlene. Her name is Marlene.
She's
Yeah, so there's the number.
0490
Yeah.
0490 344 463. Maybe you want to talk to her because you
Okay.
don't know what's going on.
Sure. Hi Marlene, this is Venerable Saga calling from Armadale Group. I'm with Ajahn Chitta right now. Sorry? Yeah, what's happening on your end? What's happening on your end? Yeah, that's what we've got. That's what we've got the same message. It's saying there's another meeting in progress. So we don't know what on earth that means. Okay. Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah, no worries. Okay, thanks, Marlene. Okay, I think it should be working now, John, but she reset it.
Okay. Please wait, the meeting host will let you in soon. Oh, that's very nice.
Okay, yeah. Here we go. So, I'll just go through this.
This meeting is being recorded.
I am so sorry for the kerfuffle.
Kerfuffle.
Oh,
I just sent you an email saying I'll see you next week.
I wasn't, I got the impression that only I'd been knocked off, that everybody else was still going, so.
No.
Okay.
Well, I thought it was only on my end, and it showed something joined for $42.50 or something, and I thought maybe they haven't paid the bill.
Oh, dear.
Oh, thank you, Marlene, you solved it.
Technique,
It was a
technique.
phone call from Bobbiana that helped me.
Thanks.
No worries.
Good, I think
So
we've got
everybody
it.
is
We've got that.
slowly
I've
kicking
got
in again.
12.
11 participants. We had 14 before.
The recording has stopped.
Ah, there's another one. No! Not again. What's going on? Oh, not that again.
Fix for the night, I think, otherwise we're just going to be logging on and off the whole night.
Yeah.
One more chance.
Well,
Yeah,
give us one more
the
go.
recording stopped, but I don't know what that means.
I thought
Yeah,
they
it
did.
automatically starts recording when I open the meeting, and I don't want it to record to the cloud. Because they recorded at Bonyana, we don't need a double recording.
Mm.
Oh,
So I'm not just the only one, everyone's dropped off.
Yeah,
It just closed the meeting for some reason.
Wow. It's unusual.
Yes. So a couple of people have given up by the look of it. Shall we try again, Arjan?
yes,
Last time. Oh,
last time.
Hey, Linda.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? No? Oh, I was muted still. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay.
We can.
Okay. Wow. Well,
Another three.
in the one-to-one or one-on-one sessions, it was easy. Stuff like that didn't happen. Well, that is the case when you try to do it from your living room. Anybody knows what's going on? If we ever can meet in the hospital again?
Hey, Chris.
Yes,
Ah.
back again.
There he is.
We're just saying that.
Darling, you're muted.
Oh,
thank you. The hospital is not allowing us back in. We're only allowed 15 people.
Oh,
So I am going to look for another venue, but there's costs involved and it's quite a problem at the moment.
Mm.
But we do want to get back to the Armadale route, if we can.
yeah, has a bit of a different feel to it, being together than just watching a screen.
Mm.
Okay, I hope
we get by 60.
everybody who, what have we, 11, we lost 3 people, okay, well, can't change it. No! No, not again.
This meeting is being recorded.
Some difficulties here.
This is the first time we've had this problem. I don't think we're meant to have a session tonight, somehow.
No,
Doesn't look like it, does it?
I think Doug doesn't want us to talk about him.
And maybe that's it, yeah.
Yes, I was just wondering that.
Well, we've lost a few more now.
Yeah. No surprise there. When does that always happen? Does anybody does some special click before that happens, or is it just cutting out?
I stopped the recording, maybe that does it. I'll let the recording keep going
Yeah,
and see what happens.
I'm pretty sure that does it.
But I do that every week, I stop the recording.
Yeah, or maybe there's something overlapping or whatnot, so it might not work. Because if we don't do anything, it seems to work.
Okay.
Oh, we could ask Doug and if everything else fails.
Yes, if he could intercede.
9. Oh, we lost 5 people.
Somewhere
If
it's
it cut off again, that's it. I'm not coming back again.
Last time.
Yeah, last time. Yeah, if it happens again, then maybe we stop for tonight. It's not supposed to be. If it stops again, then I do another session, but not next week because I'm gonna be 1 month away at Kusata Hermitage with Ajahn Santuti. But I'm gonna jump in again then when I'm back too. But only if it cuts out again.
It doesn't look like it's going to.
No, I think it's really the recording thing. If you don't stop the recording, it seems to stay on. Oh, all right. So obviously you have to know your own minds, but for me it was a very peaceful reflection when I did that. And for me the question is always then, am I ready? Am I ready to go? And then a lot of stuff just falls away. A lot of this thought processes just fall away. Obviously, if you ask that question, the mind can start speculating. But that is not how I ask the question. I ask the question and then I try to listen, like in a meditation, try to listen inside. And how does the whole concept feel to me? If it's maybe my last Armadale meeting today and I die on the way to my hut, which is quite possible. I mean, Doug didn't anticipate to just die on that hike. I have to admit, I find that the way of dying I find quite beautiful. This lights out. Some people maybe want to linger a little bit and say goodbye or whatnot, but just this. It's without a goodbye in a way. But it's, I mean, if you did things right beforehand, it's not necessary always to say goodbye. Actually, can keep him in my mind actually, and have a good feeling when I think about him. And don't feel cheated that I didn't have the opportunity to say goodbye to him. So I found it quite beautiful. So see if that contemplation helps you tonight in the meditation. See what comes up. If fear comes up, or anxiety, or if peace comes up, and then you can figure out if that is a helpful meditation tool for you tonight. And just this question, is it, if tonight is the last night, would that be okay? And see if the mind gets peaceful with that, or if other things come up. So maybe it's exactly 7:30, maybe we do half an hour meditation together. And just, I hope you're comfortable. If not, please make yourself comfortable. Always very important, if the body is not relaxed and doesn't have the feeling of balance, then the mind has great difficulties as well to relax. So, sit in your favorite spot. You don't need to sit on your desk. I don't need to see you. If you have a more comfortable spot somewhere else. And just go through the body once. Make sure from your toes upwards to your forehead that you relax your body nicely. And a few very conscious breaths. Letting the shoulders drop on the out breath. Nothing to achieve, nothing to accomplish. Somebody is making a snack for himself there in the background. Can you please mute your mic if you fiddle around? Oi.
Yvonne, can you mute your mic, please?
Sorry?
I thought that was you moving around. I was just asking you to mute.
Yes, it's probably best if you mute them. Okay, you can still hear me? Okay. So, in remembrance of Doug, we give him some good wishes, wherever he is now. He went first. And we come a little bit later. And hopefully with a very peaceful mind. Just in the moment. minutes left in the meditation. And back the Armadale Meditation Group sends you all their love and their peace. And wish you all the best. Peaceful mind is always alright. Ring the bells 3 times, and then we can end the meditation for tonight. So, obviously you have to check out how that works for you. For me that worked very nicely. Sort of combining that with well wishes for somebody that I liked. That contemplation, it just gives it a very nice flavor in my meditation. Doesn't have any grimness about it. And then when I said goodbye a few minutes ago, that was actually quite powerful. Really warmed up incredibly inside and opened up. So you have to see if that works for you or not. If it doesn't work, if unpleasantness comes up in the mind, then it's obviously not for you. There's no need to force the issue. I can go there with a kind mind, not with a challenging mind. Sort of, are you ready? Are you ready to die? It's more like I just have experienced enough times when the mind is free of thought. It's never a problem there. All this anxiety, or maybe I'm not ready, blah, blah, blah. It's just more thoughts again. But in that meditation where it really becomes a little bit still and a little bit kind and a little bit opening up, can never be any problem. exists just in this thinking mind. All the fears, all the trouble. And I hope your meditation gets there little by little. You just getting into this space of a little bit of stillness and how beautiful and secure it feels. There's no judgment there anymore, no anticipation, just this being exactly there where you want to be in your meditation. Maybe just a few seconds, maybe just a few minutes. Just getting a taste for that beauty of a silent mind. And once there's a little bit of the taste there, then there's also it's like a nice dish that you have never eaten before, and then it's sort of, whoa, let's go there again. Let's go to that restaurant again. Actually, it just becomes so much easier. Huh? It's not some another challenge, another struggle meditation, or something we are successful with or unsuccessful with. It's just this it's this moment when the struggle stops, and if we call that meditation, or if we call that anything else, it doesn't matter. It's just this awareness just kicks in that in that direction is the direction where the struggle stops, where the fear stops, where the problems stop. And this is a very warm place, a very, very beautiful place. And I hope you can do that well-wishing already to yourself, that you don't always have to go through other participants, that somebody else needs to be well. This awareness that we live in our own perception. And if we make an effort to treat ourselves nice in our efforts, in our general conversation in our own head, there's a tone to this thinking process that we have. And I hope you all are aware what tone that takes up during your days. And you see when it's getting nasty, and there's always mindfulness can kick in and say, oh, you don't have to treat yourself badly. That doesn't help you, that doesn't help other people. This perception, ye lighter and nicer that perception becomes, the easier the outside world becomes, because the outside world doesn't really exist without our own perception. It's always inside our perception that everything exists. And the way we perceive it is linked to our thoughts and to our feelings. So even if you're not meditating, I hope you put some effort into that to see where the mind goes. I, for example, today said the F word to another character. That's how upset I can still get. Somebody drove into our little wall where we on the way down to the ball washing area, and just drove the car inside, and half the wall crumbled down. And he just kept sitting in the car, and then he just wanted to drive away because they were invited to a house dana, to a house invitation or whatnot. And they didn't even get out of the car to check if the car is alright. They didn't check what a mess they made there. And I was just like, boom, 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 what the? Do you even have a driving license? So that was a little bit unkind of me, so I have to apologize tomorrow with him, actually. But it's also, I still react to stuff, and sometimes I think, Cheetah still hasn't learned anything, actually. But it's also, I can drop that nonsense after a few minutes again. Don't have to be angry with him, don't have to cling on to that, and I don't have to be angry with myself. I should be different, I shouldn't get angry anymore, shouldn't say bad words. So and that is the way I can deal with my mind. If I have that feeling there's somebody in the background that says, Cheetah, are you in ropes? Shame on you. That would be just hell. And I'm not willing to create that hell in my own mind. Other people can do that, actually, but I'm just not willing to do that. It's sort of, maybe the big punishment is still waiting for me. But I doubt it. I mean, any being that is more developed than me, how can that even get angry with my stupidity? Anybody judging me must be more stupid than me again, so what's the point of being concerned about that? Anybody who is a little bit wiser just, yeah, right, has a laugh about it. Huh? So that is how I dealt with my own mind today, and I could really drop it after 2-3 minutes. I was just gone again, just a little flare up. And that is because in the beginning, I was fighting. I fought a lot harder with stuff. I thought that it wasn't appropriate to come up when you're in robes. And I just figured out that makes things just very uncomfortable, and the mind goes into a resisting mode and not a learning mode. The mind sees that is a more beautiful way to go for me and others. Then it's so easy. Doesn't cost much effort. So combining that, I hope you, I don't know if I made that clear enough. I really try to combine Doug's death with the concept of death, but it didn't directly reflect so much of my own death. It was basically that concept of death and wishing Doug well, but also something that we share with each other. We're all in the same boat. All have to go one day, and that for me made it very beautiful and very connected me to Doug and to, I don't know, maybe to you as well. For me it was quite emotional at the end, actually. And whatever works for you, just please don't forget the important factor is that it makes you more peaceful. If it doesn't do that, then just go for loving kindness or something else. And the only thing is good to be honest enough with yourself. If you see there's fear in that direction coming up, and you don't like to look there, then do something different. Please don't force the mind to go anywhere where it doesn't want to go. It's just might be another approach, another day, and the mind looks from a little bit of a different perspective, and the whole thing that seems to be such a huge problem in that moment can just completely dissolve again. And it always dissolves in the moment that you're kind in your own mind with yourself again. If you have that openness, kindness, watching, interested, what is going on, then the problems also dissolve. If there's a problem, there's somebody in the background who's telling a story about what is going on instead of the experience what is going on. So that is nice to be aware of that. It helps. So, any questions, comments? How was it for you? Was it pleasant, unpleasant, scary, boring? Who has the guts to tell me what's going on with you?
Actually, I found it actually quite peaceful, because it made me put aside all the silly worries and anxieties. It really puts everything in place when you contemplate that. So there's not a lot that gets through after you contemplate that. Mm-hmm. Most things just get put aside, I think.
What was the atmosphere like? What was the atmosphere in your meditation like? Did it feel open and kind, or did it feel?
It was fairly open. It didn't have any sort of fear factor or anything like that. My mind wasn't completely still, I must admit. I still had thoughts coming and going, but not anxieties or anything. That all just seemed to drop away.
Oh, good.
So, and I was not just thinking of Doug, but other people, that have gone way too soon. Well, and and like you said with Doug, you know, his was very sudden and quick, but then other people have suffered with long, debilitating illnesses who are much younger than me, and made me really feel gratitude, I guess, as well, that, you know, I'm still here and I can enjoy doing things like this. So, yeah, it was good. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody experience fear, anxiety? No? No? Good. I mean, for me it's just very important because obviously I believe that it doesn't end when we die. The whole thing goes on, and having a peaceful death since puberty, as long as I can remember, that was always a very important thing for me. Having a mind that is at ease with death. And if the mind is at ease with death, I guess it's also at ease with life. The more the fear is reduced in general life, the more the fear is reduced before death as well. So, I mean, I always found that very important. I'm just not a friend of having a fearful mind. Anybody else? What was it for you guys? Anybody else?
I was very touched, Arjan, at the very end where you wished Doug well. There's a real softening and opening at that point. And I was also maybe a bit perplexed, just having a sense of, well, what was I? Who was I? What was I wishing well? So it was a lovely connection and a sense of openness and care. But then this question of, well, what's Doug now?
What's Doug now? Yeah, I didn't question that. I just really stayed with the feeling. I was in that moment. It just became very, very powerful. I started sweating, and tears were just flowing. Just opened up very nicely in that moment. So I helped myself to a nice meditation. It worked for me. So and you obviously have to figure out what works for you, because we are all a bit different. But I mean, this skillfulness of seeing what works in your own mind is just so important. See what does make my mind happier? What does make it more peaceful? Because it is this happiness and the peace where things drop. That's when meditation starts. With a lot of joy in your heart. So sometimes there needs to be a lot of contemplation, maybe before we sit down, or when we sit down. We do the Metta Sutta, but it can become quite repetitive and just a ritual after a while. There's not much contemplation often behind that anymore. So it's just clever to know your mind well enough and have maybe even a toolbox of different things where the mind is interested in, what the mind enjoys in the meditation, where you had some good experiences, and try that direction, or try something different. It doesn't have to be the same thing all the time. Goes to that point where the thought process becomes less and less important, because you enjoy with just being in that moment. That's always the right path already. Yeah, sometimes it seems it really needs this sudden death. It's just very helpful. So out of the blue. Wow, I think you.
John, I like.
Yeah.
Sorry, John. I liked your words that you began with. Life can end at any moment, and that there is great beauty in this. I think you sort of framed a lot of things that I felt, and when I felt most joyous, I've been aware that I've been happy and that nothing really matters anymore except that feeling of happiness. This evening has reminded me of that quite beautifully.
Yeah, thank you.
And thank you, Rajan. Thank you for your teaching.
If there's no beauty to it, then it's so worthless. If it just becomes another burden meditation. So if you have the feeling that you're struggling too much in the meditation, there is not enough kindness there then. As the mind still has a feeling that it has to accomplish something, to do something. And maybe you have to change your position. Try meditating on your back when the body is completely comfortable. This when it's letting go. You know you could fall asleep now, and the body is gonna be safe. If you don't have that feeling when you're sitting in your meditation spot, then try sitting somewhere where you know you could go unconscious now, and the body is safe. That is the first act of kindness. You have, if you don't have that feeling that the body is completely relaxed, it's very hard for the mind to let go, to even go into the body and be with the breath. Something seems to be holding back. Something is still clinging, and just consciously relaxing the body in a position where you're really comfortable can help a lot with calming the mind down as well. That's probably why people do yoga and all that business. For me, it's just I can sit in a position in my hut and here on a chair where I know even if I go unconscious now, actually the body is just going to sit there and it's going to be comfortable. And that is part of being kind, opening up, even making that process possible. So, I mean, just you sitting on a couch there, you're sitting on your desk. I don't know how comfortable you are there. It's such a difference when you have a spot where you feel completely at home. I just have my meditation seat in my hut, and it's just exactly right for me there. Hope you have something at home like that as well. Quite nice. It's quite a little familiar group, and everybody's meditating for a long time, so I don't have to be so careful with what I said. Usually, it's always in the Amale group, sort of with death and things like that. And sort of I have to be very careful. Some people with too much anxiety and things sometimes it's not good for them. But,
John, I love the sense of freedom in your talks. I get the unexpected.
The unexpected.
And I love it. I absolutely love it. It makes me feel alive, John. So thank you.
Well, I hope you had a good time all. Well, it's 25. If there's no more questions, we had some blackouts. I felt a little bit disrupted as well, actually, in my endeavor. I struggled a little bit to get back to it. and like always, I hadn't really prepared something. I just always wanted to talk with the Arnhem group about Doug and just do a meditation for Doug, because I just feel gratitude towards him. Always treated me very nicely, and I know him for quite some time. So that is a wish that I really had to share that with the Arnhem meditation group. Say goodbye to him. Thank you for that.
And thank